Now, Dom Joly's trigger-happy TV broke new ground. His surreal stunts involving innocent and baffled members of the public were an instant and massive success. His new series starts tonight. It's called World Shut Your Mouth, because this time he's gone international. Take one lonely Eskimo fisherman, quietly minding his own business, on the ice in Newfoundland, and enter Dom Joly. The poor Eskimo has no idea what's about to hit him.
I'm at the stage where everything I thought meant something seems so unappealing. I'm ready for the real thing, but nobody's selling, no. Except you and yours saying, open up your eyes and ears and let me in of your brilliant mind. Of your brilliant mind.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen, Dom, actually. It really is.
Did you go out there with the express, that was Newfoundland, as you said, with the express intention of shooting that stunt?
Yeah.
Or did you think, well, we'll see what we find when we get there?
No, you need to go to Newfoundland for a reason, trust me. It makes the Falklands look like a good place. No, the whole show idea started... I kept having ideas for stuff and forgetting about them, so I put a board up at home, and I'd had this thing on my board for ages which just said "Frighten an Eskimo," and I never really knew what it meant. And then that kind of kicked off the idea, and I just had this vision of an Eskimo on an ice lake and going up and making him jump, and originally it was going to be an air horn. So without much research, we went to Newfoundland, because my wife's Canadian. She said Newfoundland was very cold and horrible, so off we went.
Right. Is this your wife? Sorry, just
my real wife.
Yeah. Your wife, who you say is the most humorless woman in the world.
No, I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
I did not say that. That was a misquote, and I've gotten in so much trouble for that, and it's not true. I was actually saying that Canadians are seen as humorless, but actually all the funny Americans tend to be Canadians. Canadians are like people on Goodness Gracious Me, where they just go, Indian, Indian. Canadians sit the whole time looking at people in LA going, Canadian, Canadian.
What's your wife's name, sorry?
Stacey.
Stacey, I'm so sorry.
You should apologise. I've been in so much trouble now.
And my mother's Canadian.
It was written down, but...
You should apologise to my mother as well.
I didn't mention Canadians, I just mentioned his wife.
Well, a general slur, I thought.
Let's not fall out over
No, let's not do that. But you know,
go on, tell us, you found
No, so anyway, I did such bad research. I turned up in Newfoundland to find out that actually there weren't any Eskimos in Newfoundland, which was the first problem. Secondly, as The Guardian told me the other day, they're not Eskimos, they're Inuits. Yeah. So we have to be careful with that. But anyway, so we drove out to St. John's, which is the capital. It's about 10 times the size of England with a population of 500,000. So it wasn't busy on the roads. Yeah. And we just drove and drove and drove. And I really just thought, oh, my God, this is like our first foreign off, and we just can't find anyone. And suddenly, there was a guy, middle of the lake. And we're like, thank you. So, like, it was quite difficult being inobtrusive. The car kind of stopped. It was the only car within 200 miles. And you could see him just going... So we waited till he went back to his fishing, and then I went on and we got the shot, and I just thought, if he does something wrong, I don't know what he'd have done. We've probably got another 200-mile drive here, so please let it work. So it was one take and we got it. And you wouldn't have fixed it, you wouldn't have faked it. If it had gone wrong, you wouldn't have said, look, mate, would you just sit on the ice and pretend? Because what I sense you're doing here, it's a sort of art form, because you will only do one stunt per country. You don't then knock off a few more while you're there. Well, we're doing some. You know, like we went to America, and I had several ideas for stuff I wanted to do in America, but the first sketch of each show is me going to an obviously beautiful thing as one of the wonders of the world. And so for that, we went to the Great Wall of China, Taj Mahal, Pyramids, Colosseum, and I was determined that when we were there, because we were in China, we wouldn't do like 10 jokes and say, look, we're in China. No, no, no. I like the idea of going there just for the 15 seconds. Well, here we go. We've got one. We've got a lovely 15 seconds or more here. This is in the Taj Mahal. Oh, can you show this? If
little children listening, mums with them, you might want to get them to cover their ears. It's not that big, bad. It's not clever. It's not that bad. OK.
Ah, the Taj Mahal.
It's almost ethereal.
That is shit. My mum's so proud. I'll tell you the worst thing about that. I had to pitch. That was one of the first ideas we had. And so the idea was, I go to the 7 Wonders of the World, I stand in front of them and say that. Yeah. And I had to pitch that to the head of BBC One, On the day, I think The Guardian said something like BBC One dumbing down. So that was my first pitch, and she looked at me and said, have you got any other ideas for the show? And I go, well, we've got a 6-foot poo that gets stuck in various things. And you can see her just thinking, oh, God, please go away.
Well, you must be very persuasive. Look, one of my favourites this morning was, because we obviously see all these clips in advance, was the one in the German hotel.
Oh, I love that.
That's a very clever one. That
it's Belgian.
Oh, is it Belgian?
It's Bruges.
It's Bruges,
yeah.
Well,
we had an argument as to whether we should put where the things were, but I didn't think it mattered really. It was obviously abroad. But yeah, it's Bruges.
Okay. Well, this is a wonderful moment at a hotel reception in Bruges.
David and John came down to breakfast in the hotel this morning, and there was a basket of bread rolls. There were 40 bread rolls, and they were €2.50 each. Now, David had 6 rolls, and John, who was hungrier, had 12 rolls. If David paid for all the rolls they ate, and they had a kitty of €50 for the day, how much change would they have to spend in the day? No conferring, and you need to show you're working on paper, please.
What, working on paper?
Any working out of the answer you need to show on a paper, and there's no conferring. You've got 2 minutes.
Is this a game? Or... I don't quite understand. Do I have to calculate or something?
Poor woman.
How'd you get out of it, though? I mean, you've got real brass nerves. I mean, I'd be so embarrassed and upset, I couldn't possibly do it. But you've got to have nerves to steel.
Well, you don't. Everyone says that, but actually what happens is, I mean, the joke with that, it's not a hotel, and I realised looking at it, the joke was that you can see these information booths, so I thought, right, if you give me information,
I see.
I'll treat it as a multiple choice thing.
Oh, they didn't explain
But
that
what's great is abroad, they have no idea, I don't think they have exams of our weird sort of things.
Yeah.
So words like, when you're hungrier, which are those terrible O-levels maths questions.
Yes, yeah.
So it's quite fun. But once you're doing it, if I start laughing or I kind of break down, then that's doubly embarrassing for me. There, I've got a certain amount of dignity because I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If I break down or corpse, then it's over. I'd be so embarrassed. So
but what do you say at the end? I mean, do you say, sorry, I was just...
Me? I
winding
peg
you
it.
up?
Hey, what? You want
Yeah. No, abroad, we've got sort of, legally, probably on a minefield here, but normally if we deal with a member of the public, then I have someone who goes in afterwards, explains what happens, and they have to sign a release form.
Yes,
and often the best stuff they don't sign. With some of them, they're so good, and if it's abroad, we kind of take an executive decision, shall we say? I don't know. It's all covered anyway, Judy. I think.
We've got a clip from where it all really began properly for you on Trigger Happy, because we thought we had to show one.
Yeah.
And we had a huge debate about, which was the fun. And I think collectively we thought this was the funniest because of the behaviour of the car. I think you know the one. Oh, you can have a look.
It's always returning to the same place at the same time, but you know you can't quit the sugar hill where the money is, where the 2-car families made or broken on the tube with daily mirror mass, shooting those scared to say, stop the city, I want to get off. Stop the city, I want to get off. City, I want to get off.
You said the car had a personality there,
Yeah,
didn't it? My youth car. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that we haven't got to show you, actually, but I don't know which of your shows it's on, is one where you attempt to fly across the Grand Canyon with a...
That's tonight.
On a rocket. Is that tonight?
That's tonight, British Bob.
But you were saying that, we won't show you that, but you were saying that you had terrible time getting through customs because you had this rocket strap.
I have problems travelling anyway, and particularly in the States, because I was born in Beirut. So obviously the moment they see that you're born in Beirut, the little red light goes above the passport thing. On top of that, if you look me up in any sort of... they tend to look you up on the internet occasionally when they're doing stuff, and it's sort of TV terrorist, trigger happy, so all the keywords. So, yeah, so put that together with arriving at Las Vegas airport with a 7-foot rocket, which was quite... It was quite, well-made red thing. It did have a fuse at the bottom and said Acme rocket, but still, the guy's like, your purpose for visiting the United States? And I'm like,
They're not full of humour, are they?
I'm afraid that, every time I visit the States, I know that someone is going to inspect my bottom, is probably the best way I can put it.
Did you get a cavity search?
Every single time. And the irony of it is, I've got a character in the new show that's Colombian, so if they were searching me for drugs, I'd kind of understand, but they're clearly searching me because there's a terrorist threat, and I'm thinking, what is it you're looking for up there? and if there's anything up there, please take it out, because I don't want it. But I've become very good friends with a guy called Guido at Miami Airport, who I request when I go there. He knows what I like,
Hey, listen, it's great to see
Anyway,
you.
thank you very much.
What time's it going tonight?
By the way, how much do I have to pay to get my book on your book club? Because apparently you're very influential.
I'm afraid it would be outside anybody's earning capacity.
I was told 300 quid could get me on somewhere on the list.
Well, in that case, the answer's yes.
I've got cash.
Though, now
Honestly,
it's clear.
it's very funny. It's a spoof autobiography called Look at Me, Look at Me. It's
all true.
Extreme, yeah. It's very fun. Well, you were sacked from ICM, but not for those reasons. Okay, good to talk to you.